Hey Bills fans! Today we're looking back on the place the Buffalo Bills call home. Highmark Stadium, or Rich Stadium, or the Ralph, whatever you call the place where the Buffalo Bills play their home games. Footage you see is from my tour of the stadium I took. It offers a little behind the scenes look of things you don't normally see. With that in mind, let's take a look at the history of Highmark Stadium. From capacity changes, name changes, and more, here's a complete history of Highmark Stadium. Before moving to Highmark Stadium, the Bills played at the War Memorial Stadium, also known as the Rock Pile, in the city of Buffalo. With the merger of the NFL and AFL in the 1960s, the Rock Pile didn't meet the league standards, so a new stadium was needed. Highmark Stadium originally cost $22 million to build, around $160 million in today's money. It actually sits 50 feet below ground level. This was to try and reduce the winds in the stadium, as well as save on construction costs. The stadium is low on frills, which, if you've ever been there, you know from looking at it, it's pretty basic, which helped contribute to the low construction cost. The stadium was fully funded by Erie County, who actually owned the stadium, and that played a big role in the choosing of the location of Orchard Park as the stadium's home. It has undergone multiple renovations in its history, most notably in 1998, with the new club seats, video boards, and renovated concourses. It was also renovated in 2014, which added the new Bills store outside the stadium, and also added the two video boards you see on each end of the stadium. What was originally Rich Stadium opened in 1973. It was a massive open-air venue that could fit around 80,000 fans when it first opened. Throughout the years, it has seen its capacity decrease, however, as luxury areas and suites have replaced traditional seats and bleachers. Around 1999, the capacity was reduced to about 75,000, in the 2000s, 73,000, and then finally to around 71,000 where the capacity would sit for the remainder of its use. The stadium was originally AstroTurf when it opened. As teams shifted away from AstroTurf, it has gone to more of a field turf style, that has the rubber pellets that you see everywhere, called A-Turf Titan 50. Over the decades, the stadium has went through several different name changes. It was originally called Rich Stadium from 1973 to 1998. Rich Food Products, a food company based in Buffalo, paid $1.5 million over 25 years, approximately $60,000 a year, for the naming rights to the stadium. This was actually one of the first instances of corporate sponsoring for the name of a stadium. Rich Products refused to renew the naming deal on the stadium after it expired. The stadium was then renamed Ralph Wilson Stadium after the Bills' original owner, Ralph Wilson. Wilson died in 2014, with the team then being purchased by the Pegula family, who still own it today. The next naming rights deal happened in 2016 by the New Era Hat Company, a 7-year deal worth $35 million. The deal, however, wouldn't last long. In 2020, New Era asked to be released from the sponsorship deal, and the deal was terminated. The stadium was known as Bills Stadium for the 2020 season. In 2021, the stadium would receive its final name, Highmark Stadium, named after Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield, the healthcare company, who purchased the rights to the stadium in a 10-year deal. The new Bills Stadium across the street will also become Highmark Stadium once it's opened. The stadium has witnessed many memorable Bills moments throughout its more than 50-year history. This includes 4 straight Super Bowl runs in the 1990s, including the 1990 AFC Championship game, where the Bills beat the Raiders 51-3 to advance to their first Super Bowl. It is also the site of one of the greatest comebacks of all time, the 1992 AFC wildcard game, where the Bills were down 35-3, but eventually rallied to beat the Houston Oilers. The 2025 season will be the last for Old Highmark Stadium. This will be the last chance for the team and any fans to make one last memory. Throughout its history, it has had its share of wild weather games, crazy windstorms, snowstorms. Stadium has seen it all. Even having games postponed because of the weather. Although fan and team travel were the major reason for those delays, with the bad weather it just wasn't safe to have fans and teams travel to the stadium. Any Bills fan knows that there seems to be one game every few years, if not once a year, where the team puts out a call for asking fans to help shovel out the stadium. It has also hosted numerous other events besides Bills games, including over 30 concerts throughout the years, including acts like the Rolling Stones, Beyonce, Garth Brooks, One Direction, and Luke Combs, just to name a few. Perhaps the most notable event the stadium has hosted was the first Winter Classic game in 2008 when the Buffalo Sabres took on the Pittsburgh Penguins on New Year's Day. More than 70,000 fans packed the stadium as the Penguins eventually beat the Sabres 2-1 in a shootout. The stadium also hosted a 2018 World Junior Ice Hockey Championships game between Canada and the United States, as around 45,000 fans watched the USA beat Canada 4-3 in a shootout. And one additional small fun fact that I wanted to share is that right outside the stadium, there's a small family cemetery called the Sheldon Family Cemetery that has been there for over 100 years and is still maintained by a member of the family today. Highmark Stadium is one of the oldest stadiums in the NFL. Only Soldier Field, Lambeau Field, and Arrowhead Stadium are older. When the stadium closes its doors for good, it will mark the end of a chapter of football in Buffalo. The new Highmark Stadium will open in 2026. Old Highmark is scheduled to be demolished in early 2027. There are plans to sell off memorabilia from the stadium, maybe potential parts of the field or some seating, although nothing is set in stone right now. Whether you've been a season ticket holder since the stadium opened in 1973 or go to one game a year, everyone has their own memories and stories at Highmark Stadium. I first went there in 2011. I attended my first regular season game in 2016, and then my first playoff game in the 2024 season. Thank you for the memories, Highmark Stadium. You will not be forgotten. And thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe for more sports content and much more. Let me know below, what is your favorite memory of Highmark Stadium, whether you were there, watching on TV, anything like that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.